Have you ever watched your narcissistic ex move on to a new partner, especially someone older, maybe with more money, and wondered what's really going on? It can be confusing and painful to watch them flaunt their new, perfect relationship, making you question everything. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this exact scenario and reveal the unsettling truth behind the narcissist's new supply. What you're seeing isn't a happy ending. It's the beginning of the same cycle you escaped, just with a new victim. So, the first thing that happens is the new partner gets what I call the premium love bombing package. From the outside, it looks like a fairy tale. They're treated like absolute royalty. We're talking constant praise, showering them with affection and attention, making grand promises about the future, and creating this incredibly intense emotional bond almost overnight. But let's be crystal clear. This isn't love. It's bait. It's a calculated strategy. A narcissist's entire existence revolves around getting admiration, maintaining control, and securing resources. This new partner isn't a soulmate. They're simply the next supplier chosen to fulfill these needs. The love bombing is the hook, designed to get them deeply invested before they have a chance to see the red flags. Next, the narcissist starts idealizing this new partner, and they do it very, very publicly. Their social media suddenly becomes a shrine to this new relationship. Every post is about their amazing new love, how happy they are, how they've finally found the one. They'll bring it up in every conversation, making sure everyone knows just how perfect things are. This isn't about genuine happiness. It's a multi-pronged strategy. First, it serves to prove to themselves and the world that they are still desirable and capable of finding love. Second, and this is a painful one, it's often done to punish you, their ex. They want you to see it and feel inadequate. And third, it's about convincing everyone, including themselves, that the previous relationship's failure was never their fault. It's all about image management. They are crafting a public narrative where they are the hero who has finally found their happily ever after, leaving you painted as the villain or the problem. Now, if this new partner is older or has significant financial resources, things can get particularly grim. Narcissists are masters at identifying easy sources of security and stability. When they see an older person, they don't see a life partner. They see a list of assets. They see money, property, and benefits. They might spot a caregiver-type personality, someone who naturally wants to nurture and provide. They look for signs of low self-confidence or loneliness, because those are vulnerabilities they can exploit. To a narcissist, this combination is like hitting the jackpot. It is a shortcut to the lifestyle they feel they deserve without having to work for it themselves. And here's a really twisted part. Let's say the narcissist's new flame, a younger woman for example, is clearly using the older man for his money. A normal person might feel protective or concerned, but the narcissist? They won't care at all. In fact, they'll often enable and encourage it, as long as two conditions are met. One, they get their share of the benefits, and two, they remain in control of the situation. The narcissist doesn't protect the older partner. They see him as a resource to be managed. They will happily collaborate in the exploitation, ensuring the older man remains dependent and blinded by the fake affection, all while they reap the rewards. It's a parasitic team-up. So you might be thinking, how can he not see what's happening? It seems so obvious from the outside. But from his perspective, it's a completely different story. At first, he probably won't notice a thing. And here's why. He is being absolutely dazzled by the love bombing. For the first time, possibly in years, his emotional needs are being met. If he's been feeling lonely, perhaps grieving a loss, or struggling with insecurity as he gets older, this sudden flood of attention and adoration feels like a miracle. He genuinely wants to believe that he has finally found someone who loves and appreciates him for who he is. Narcissists are incredibly skilled at hiding their true intentions and masking the red flags in the beginning. They are masters of deception. So, when anyone tries to warn him or point out inconsistencies, he'll likely defend his new partner fiercely. Because admitting the truth would mean facing a terrifying and humiliating reality, that he's being used. But this idealization phase never lasts. The devaluation is inevitable. Once the narcissist feels secure, whether that's financially, emotionally, through a commitment, or socially by being accepted into the new partner's circle, the mask begins to slip. Slowly at first, then all at once, they switch to their real behavior. The constant praise turns into relentless criticism. The affection is replaced with coldness and control. Emotional manipulation becomes a daily occurrence. They might start exploiting him financially, isolating him from his friends and family, and using guilt to keep him in line. The relationship becomes a roller coaster of unpredictable mood swings, and the poor man will be left completely bewildered. He won't understand what happened or why the person he fell in love with has vanished. He'll rack his brain trying to figure out what he did wrong, and the narcissist will make sure he believes the change is entirely his fault. So, with all this drama and manipulation, is the narcissist actually happy in this new relationship? The answer is a simple, resounding no. They are incapable of true happiness or genuine love. What they can feel is excitement, an ego boost from the conquest, and the temporary pleasure of having their needs met. But it's hollow. They are just rerunning the exact same script they used with you and with every partner before you. The pattern of idealize, devalue, and discard is a compulsion. It's a reflection of the emptiness inside them. The problem was never you, and it's not the new partner either. The problem is, and always will be, the narcissist's own internal disorder. This new relationship is not a sign of their growth. It's a symptom of their pathology. So what happens in the long term? What's the end game for this older partner? Eventually, the fantasy will crumble completely. He will start to feel emotionally and physically drained from the constant drama. He'll begin to notice the inconsistencies and lies that he couldn't see before. He'll experience the narcissist's emotional withdrawal, the silent treatments, and the cold indifference. He'll likely lose a significant amount of money or assets. And through it all, he will be blamed for everything that goes wrong in the relationship. Finally, when he is no longer useful, when the money runs out or he starts standing up for himself, he will be emotionally abandoned and likely replaced. The narcissist will move on to the next source of supply without a second thought, leaving him confused, deeply ashamed, and often in a much worse financial and emotional state than before he met them. Here's the hard truth you need to remember. Your ex didn't upgrade. They didn't find someone better. They simply found someone who was, at this moment, an easier target, easier to control, easier to manipulate, or more beneficial on paper. And while that new relationship might look glossy and perfect on the outside right now, he is just in the beginning stage of the cycle that you were strong enough to survive. The fact that you feel worried for him shows that you have a kind heart, that you still have the empathy the narcissist lacks. But you must remember, you escaped the trap that he is now walking straight into. Protect your own peace. Focus on your own healing. Because no matter how good it looks from a distance, the ending of a story with a narcissist is always the same. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more insights. Your journey to healing is important, and you are not alone. See you in the next video.